guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trips weak. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's going on, everyone? NCap24 here from HuddleGG, and today we're going to tackle a question I get all the time, and it's simply, how do I tell if they're in man or zone coverage pre-snap? It sounds like such a simple question, but I find that not only do beginners ask this a lot, I see pro players that get this wrong all the time. And so this video, I'm actually going to break this down really simply in the beginning. So for people that are a little bit more beginners, even if you are a advanced player, you can definitely use these, tricks in order to understand right away. Then as the video goes on, it's going to be a little bit more for those that are a little bit more advanced in the game, that beginners can know this tip as well. But I'm going to show you another tip, okay? And the tip that I'm going to show you at the end is actually something that I broke down already in a different video, that if you guys really want to know how to go ahead and dissect and see alignment tricks for any coverage, you're going to want to check this video that I have on the screen right now, as it's one of the best things that you can go out there to really understand pre-snap reads. But that's going to be something I'll leave in the description. I'll leave the link there so you guys can go ahead and look at that. But let's jump into the easy types of tells that you can do right away, right? So let's call cover one hole, and I'm just going to call something like Y sail. Does not matter, okay? I don't want to talk alignment. All I want to talk about right now is for anybody that is playing the game and you're just kind of need to know right away, you see a one high safety. Let's just talk about one high safeties, okay? You don't know if this is cover 3 or cover 1, right? You look at this and it looks like, you know what, this could definitely, man coverage, this definitely could be, cover 3. I'm gonna give you a couple little tricks, beginner tips, how to tell right away. The first thing you can do is simply motion, right? I can motion this X to the right, and if somebody goes ahead and follows him, simply, you're gonna know that it's going to be man coverage. See, in this formation, that guy came in like that, and if I go back out, he's going to cover him, right? If I call the Y and I go this way, you're gonna see that this guy is gonna come all the way across, and he's going to follow me. Anytime you see that people follow you, you're gonna see, even if it's just one person, this is against a nickel coverage, that guy's gonna do it. If I move this guy over, you should expect that the player on the right is gonna follow him all the way across the formation, and that's an easy way to tell right away. Am I in, zone or man? Simply put, the guy follows you, you're there in man coverage, okay? Now, the next thing you can do, let's just go and reset. Maybe you don't want to do that type of, motion because you have a certain thing in mind, right? Well, what you can do is just flip the play. If I flip the play, what you're going to see is that the tight end goes left and the slot corner goes right. You see those guys flip, sides. That's a really good indication that they're going to be in man coverage, because the people that were originally assigned to them are now going to follow them, okay? So that's another easy way. Say you really want this play, it doesn't matter if it goes to the left side or the right side, you can do that. Now, what if you're in a situation to where, let's go ahead and reset this, you want a specific play and you want to be able to go right into it, right? Well, let's just say you want to call it trips play, right? Trips to the left. But what I can do here is I can start off in a doubles, and I just can audible into a trips, right? This is the play that you want to call, let's just say, the PA crossers. That's your man beating play. Well, if I go ahead and I call it, it's going to go from doubles into trips. Instead of motioning them, you're just going into that play, and you just got the tell that you needed because the cornerback went ahead and went with the beat. So just to kind of, recap, 3 easy things you can do. You can motion a player and see if somebody follows him. If you motion them across the line, basically the formation, it's going to be the easiest tell because they're going to follow him. The second thing you can do is just flip the play. And if you flip the play and people move across the formations to cover the flip, then you know it's man. Or you can just audible from one formation to another, which is a huge thing in the NFL, right? They start off in one type of formation and they basically do a motion into another formation. And what they're doing is they're simply seeing, is somebody going to follow them? Are they in man or are they in zone? It's the same thing, same principles apply to Madden, right? 3 easy tips, right? So those are things that if you don't want to look at alignment, you don't want to look at, some of the tells that I'm about to teach you, that is a really fundamental, easy way to get the information you need, okay? Now, let's do the same thing, and we'll just talk about, to start off with, cover one hole in nickel. Basically, it's a one high safety look, and it's got only one DB in the slot. We're going to talk about that here as far as the tells, okay? So what we're gonna do is call, it doesn't matter what we call, okay? Now, what I wanna show you here is that if you just concentrate on one player, you can learn everything you need to know if it's man or zone, okay? And that one player is gonna be your slot receiver. If I look at here and I look at Y, and this applies to about 95% of all formations you're gonna face in Madden. There are gonna be some outliers that you're gonna see that are gonna align a little bit differently. And if you're going against, if that's one of your favorite formations that you run offensively, then use the tips I just showed you. But for the other 95% of the formations that you can run in Madden, this is gonna work for you, okay? If I just put the Y on a streak, let's look at no other player. If the route goes through the legs of that cornerback, it is man coverage, okay? That's the simplest tip I'm gonna give you. If I go ahead and I go and change my formation, I go to 4 verticals. This is in normal Y off. He's still in that same spot. If I go ahead and I go to doubles off close, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. He's still gonna go right through his legs, right? If you go to a Y off trips, you're gonna see my guy's gonna travel, okay? I'm gonna put him on a streak. All right, let's just go ahead and make sure that we put him on a streak, let him settle. Again, that RB, that's all we're looking at. It's gonna go through his legs. Let's go to bunch, right? Let's go to some stuff that you might use a little bit more often. Bunch offset, I'll call verts halfback under. If I put this RB on a streak, guess what? It's going through his legs. If I go and call, X nasty or strong, nasty here. If I look at that same player, guess what? See how the player that's going to cover him pinched in so we can go between his legs. And if you go here and I go to bunch open, right? This is just another one. I move him over here. Even though he's the inside receiver now, look, it's going through his legs. So if you know who that slot receiver is, the guy, it's a slot receiver for you, you're going to have a lot of success with it, right? Now, let's just say I don't have that slot receiver on the field. Maybe he's your number 3, he's your slot, but you're in a wing slot like this. Now you're going to defer to the slot receiver, whoever that is, right? So if I go ahead here, call cover 1 hole, and I go ahead and I put this Y on a streak, you're gonna see it goes right through his legs. If I'm to flip the play, what you're gonna see is that the X ends up turning into the slot receiver and the Y will go to the outside. And if you look, actually it's not, it's the same thing. Y is going to be the slot receiver, goes to there. There are some formations where they go ahead and they switch spots. But again, if you look at the slot, the guy who's designated as the slot receiver, normally it's easy. It's on your depth chart. It's the guy that you put as your slot receiver. And then if he's on the field, he's going to be your guy. If he's not on the field, you want to look at the slot receiver and see if it goes through his legs, okay? So that's an easy tell when it comes to any single high safety. Does this work in dime? Let's go ahead and show you. So let's go here to a single high safety, the LB Blitz 1, okay? I'll just go to a double set just so that we make sure that we just kind of go through it here. You look at this and I look at my Y, he's my guy, right? He is going to be through the guy's legs. If I flip the play, right? These guys will go ahead and they'll flip their assignments and I can go ahead and you can see again, the Y is going to go through his legs. So anytime you're going and facing something that's a single high safety, you don't know if it's cover 3, you don't know if it's cover 1, look at your slot receiver, put him on a streak or any type of route that goes straight up the field. And if he goes through his legs, then you know it's man coverage. Now, does this work against in cover 0? The answer is yes and no, okay? And let me explain. So whenever you're going against formations that have 2 slot corners, whether that's dollar or dime or quarters, and basically they have 2 slot corners, right? This will work with the same exact trick when it comes to alignment. What I mean by that is I'm going to put the Y through and you're going to see that he's going through the legs of those players. The first thing you should know is that it's actually the second player. These guys are stacked. That when it comes to any type of cover 0, they're blitzing the guys off the edge, right? They're blitzing the cornerback, if you see this here. So whenever they stack, what they're doing is they're basically aligning the safety over that player, right? And I can go ahead and I can change my formation. And we can do this all day long. I'll go ahead and just do it right here. And you're gonna see here, same thing. I'm gonna do it towards a trips formation where I go to the right side. And if you do something like this where I go to the trips, right? Y trips off, right? He's gonna go to the right. They're gonna switch players, basically meaning that the right safety is now gonna be basically covering him, but you're gonna see that he goes through his legs. So this works against cover 0 whenever they're in dime or dollar or any type of 2 slot. However, when in nickel, they actually play a different shade in cover 0. And I'll just show you here, it's an inside shade. So I just wanna make sure that I don't confuse you. If you're in something like this, like Overstorm Brave, and I do the same thing, what they're going to do is they're actually going to go ahead, and you can see how the player that's covering him is an inside shade player, right? If I go ahead and press, what ends up happening is they're playing an inside shade in nickel, where they're playing it over the receiver, basically straight up type of shading when it comes to any type of slot, corner, dime, whatever. I can move this guy over to the, if I don't know, I'm like, what, I'm not sure what he's in, and I want to move this guy over, then that's going to give you the tell when he goes ahead and we use that, and you can see he's still inside, but in nickel, they're going to be inside, and in dollar and dime, they're going to be straight up. So that's the differences between cover 0 and cover 1 when doing the tells, right? And the last thing, just real quick, we can just do cover 2 man, just so you understand. Cover 2 man is also going to be an inside shade. It's going to be very similar. That's why this tip is really about single high safeties, determining between cover 3 and cover 1, because that's what basically everybody is. That's the question I get all the time, is when it's a single high safety, because when it's 2 high safety, you basically have to kind of be prepared for more often different stuff. But if you see here the same thing, you're going to see that they play inside shade and cover 2 man. So whenever there's a 2 high safety like this, and the safety is not stacked with the nickel corner or the dime corner, then you're going to see that they're inside shade. You can definitely look at it being either a cover 0 or a cover 2 man due to the fact that they're playing inside shade on you. Right? So just want to make sure you understand that. That's basically how this works. If you want to get more in depth in alignment, I know I definitely went a little bit more into advanced as this video went on. Definitely check the video on the screen now. The link is in the description, but we'll go over all different coverages as well. But this video was really for, basically to help you determine with easy tells by using motion, flipping the play, and being able to basically audible from one formation to one formation to get that tell that you need. And then as you get more advanced and you want to look at that one player and see, how does that go through the guy's legs or not go through that guy's legs by determining a 1 high safety look, use that. It's going to save you a lot more time and gives you that opportunity to always know what your opponent's in and be able to tackle accordingly. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and see our bonus content for today's video, go to our Discord. It's going to be !bonus 3. I'm going to show you my favorite cover 1 beater out of our newest game plan, which I just dropped last week, which is the run and shoot, where you're going to be able to go ahead and see how you can get some easy, big yards by using a little bit of a technique that I like. Once I find out exactly what type of coverage you're in by doing my reads, I go ahead and, set a little bit of a pick where we get somebody wide open. So check that out again in our Discord. That link will also be in the description. !bonus 3, and we'll love to see you there. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next video.